Oh, here, Gabe, in time.
Coach, what can you tell us about this now six-person stable at running back, and how do you like the way that's shaping up?
Well, we're happy to get Mr. Boyd in here the other day, and I couldn't really say anything that was all going on, but he's been in practice last couple days, so that's been good. Obviously, James White is experienced and has really been a leader of the group. He's the guy who has really played. Keith Ford has really kind of done some good things the last couple days, after missing the end of spring football. So he's kind of getting back into it. You guys saw Kwame Etwe in the spring game. He's got some real tools. We're real fortunate to get him as a guy that had some offers at some other places, but came here as a walk-on. And Bussy had an excellent spring too, coming off that knee in high school, but now where he should be as a redshirt freshman, getting his strength back. So, we've got some depth there, and we've got some talented players with Travion, who was an early graduate, has really showed some things. I think they're all a little bit different. You guys saw James probably earlier today. He's 220-some pounds. He looks great. Keith is a big guy too, and some of these other guys some of these other guys got some real top-end speed. So we've got some depth there, something we haven't had. And Clarence, Coach McKinney's doing a great job of really rotating those guys and getting the young guys in there. We'll see. We've got from a practice standpoint, we've got today's our last day of shoulder pads. We get full pads tomorrow. Saturday will be our first major scrimmage. So it'll be a chance for those guys to really see where they are, with the whole week of install, everything that's gone on with the coaches and the classroom, and really the teaching and technique piece. But then the ability Saturday night to really get the coaches off the field and see what they really know, and how they're going to react in live situations. So the evaluation process is still ongoing, but certainly the depth is a luxury we haven't had.
Ben, if you could, let's get Mike to you. Thanks.
I'm still learning the ropes here. I apologize, y'all.
The new guy.
Hey, there you go. Who do you see leading y'all in carries so far at this point?
Don't know.
Okay.
That's why we practice.
Suzanne?
Well, if you've got 6 running backs in a game situation, how many would you want to be in the rotation?
We don't play till September 3rd.
And that's 6 why have a chance?
Everybody's got a chance right now. So, basically that's why we practice, Suzanne. Okay. So my point was not being smart. I'm just telling you that, the evaluation process is one that they all can't play. Obviously, we were able to redshirt guys last year. We could have used. Bussy probably could have helped us. His knee wasn't 100%, but Trey Carson was able to get through the year. We don't want to do that. We haven't done that in the past. But the move of Brandon Williams helped our football team and helped Brandon Williams, obviously. So, selfishly, we could have kept Brandon there and really helped our football team last year. We didn't do that. And that's ended up being the best thing for him since he's starting this weekend. So, we're going to do what's best for our team, and all that comes through practice. You got guys, you guys have heard me say it before, when you're in shorts, you're in shoulder pads, a lot of guys look good, and some guys don't look as good. As soon as we start hitting and tackling and doing some other things, some guys come to the forefront and other guys disappear. And that's not just at running back, that's at a lot of positions. And that doesn't mean that they're that person for their career. That means that, it might take them a little while. So some of these young guys, we're going to have to put those guys in positions to see how they're going to handle pass protection, which is the hardest part for a young guy. are they going to hang on to the ball, and then and limit mistakes, so that in those situations when they're in the game, can we count on them to do the right thing? So, that will all come through the next couple weeks. We've got a scrimmage Saturday. We've got another scrimmage the next Saturday. We'll have a mini scrimmage next Wednesday. So we're going to have 3 really, really critical situations for a lot of players. The running back position being one, since we lost a starter there, but a lot of players to try to develop themselves into the 2 deep, defensively and offensively, and then we'll start making. I'll be able to talk a lot more about it probably a week from Saturday, with 2 weeks, another 2 weeks to go to the game.
To the left, Zach.
Coach Christian said that he could see his role getting even bigger this year. Do you see that as well in the future?
Yeah, I think he's a guy that we got to keep an eye on with what we're doing in practice, because he logs a lot of yards. He takes care of himself. He's a talented player. He's more comfortable. He understands what he can do, and we have a better understanding of him. A lot of his yards last year came on run after catch. And I think whether it was return yardage or us getting the ball in screens and things like that, they weren't necessarily down the field throws. So Christian was a hybrid, was a running back in high school more than a receiver. He played both, so he's comfortable with the ball in his hands. And so the ability to get it to him, he's proven that what he can do with the ball in his hands, from the line of scrimmage or screen game or anything like that. But he's become a better route runner as a receiver, and so with that, we'd like to get him more involved in down the field throws.
Down front, Brent.
It was a big deal a year and a half ago when you nabbed a division foe's defensive coordinator. I think I already know the answer to this, but has Coach Chavis's addition been everything you anticipated and your expectations for him this season? Yeah,
I think we made big strides last year defensively, statistically. Those are well documented. I think he'll be the first to tell you we can get better. Our run defense is got to get better, and I think it goes without saying we have improved on defense, and we look to improve even more this year. So, he's done a great job along with the whole defensive staff, and I think the chemistry part of that becomes important too. So, some guys come in and it can be difficult, but he's come in, been a great team guy, knows what he wants to do. We have conversations every day about football, about the program, about the weight room, everything around football. So he has been as advertised, and he's had a real impact on not just the defensive part of our program, but our program. And he's a guy, like I said, I've respected for a long time, and the ability to have those conversations about all aspects of what's going on is big, and he's got a lot of experience, and a lot of it's been really, really good experience and positive, and so he's a guy that has come in here and continues to. Has done a great job in a year, but continues to get better. So I look forward to improve.
Down front, Travis. Then we'll go to the back, Chip.
Coach, where is Otero Lacka today compared to where he was this time last year? Not only physically, but mentally, with all he had to go through.
Well, at this point last year, he wasn't even here, so that's a plus. I know he doesn't mind it. His dad doesn't mind it. His dad. He had a separated elbow, which anybody who sees that's a injury that is very, very painful, but also stuns your team when your arm goes the other way. That's guys don't really want to practice anymore after that during that day. And and then you go through that, and then his dad's on business in a different country, a long ways away, and has a stroke and a near fatal stroke. And so, mentally, physically, it was devastating. And then the mental aspect for him, with your father in intensive care halfway across the world, it was time for him. We just got him out of there and got him to his family as quickly as we could. And, he just needed that time. Just a lot of things going on at one time. And he took his time coming back. He loves to play the game. So when he got back, he wanted to do some things. He was having a great offseason. Had gotten stronger. We know he can run. We know he's a really good player. But for all that to happen right in the beginning of fall camp was a lot for a young guy. And he needed to, I think, he was able to step back and take a deep breath, particularly after his father got better. And that was a process of him, first of all, surviving, and then being able to really recover from that stroke situation, being able to communicate, move, walk, all that stuff. And then, it was there was a lot going on in his life. And then, to come back in the spring, after that injury, the shoulder, really try to trust that mentally. I think he had to break through that. And now, he's ready to go. He's, 240. He looks great, and he's running around. He's got his shirt rolled up now, and so he's sleeves rolled up. I think he's pretty proud of how he looks now. He's got a completely different attitude right now than he had last year. So, he's a guy that we know can play. And I think, he and Sean Washington have been around here a long time. They know each other, and they're really kind of interchangeable parts in there at those linebacker spots, and they feed off each other. And they've got some confidence. So I think to your point, your question was where is he mentally? I think he's confident. I think he's he feels good. He's strong, and he's ready to go.
Go Chip, and then time for a couple more for Chief.
Kevin, you've on the offensive side of the ball with a new coordinator, new quarterback, bunch of running backs, some young offensive linemen. How long are you anticipating to bring all of those different segments together? I mean, I know you have 3 weeks before kickoff, but in your mind, how long do you
Chip, we better get it worked out before September 3rd, right?
Yeah.
That's just where it is. We've had practices. The thing is, these guys have been around. Trevor and those guys were here in January. So there's nobody up there that didn't practice in the spring, including Eric McCoy. So you had 15 there. We've got really a month with the offensive line and some interchangeable parts in there. And as I've said before, are we inexperienced from a start standpoint? Yes. But the only guy who has not played in a major college football game is Eric McCoy. Luminor started. He's played. Avery started every game last year at left tackle. All the guards, Keaton Sutherland, all those guys have just really rotated at guard last year as true freshmen. So really, then Coda Martin is running around in different numbers as a tight end and a heavy set guy, when we get to different things last year. So, those guys have played. The only guy that hadn't is Eric McCoy, and I've been pleased, when he's got to face who he faces every day, we get a pretty good evaluation of Eric McCoy with trying to handle Dalen in there every day. So, and that's you can develop some confidence from that. So, those pieces are important, but there's also the piece that all these guys came in at the same time. With the offense from a coordination standpoint, from the quarterback standpoint, the communication piece, everybody was learning at the same time. So the growth is not staggered. Does that make sense? The growth is everybody in the same piece, and in some ways, that's helpful.
We'll go to the back, Lee, and then Kirk, you'll wrap us up with Coach Chavis on deck.
Yeah, Coach, I was curious, what about Coach Bizzoni's new offensive system do you feel like fits the personnel you guys have on that side of the ball best?
Well, that's what he does. You know, the personnel that we have is, I think what Noel has done wherever he's been is move the offense towards the personnel. It didn't matter who was here or where he's been. I think he's done a really, really fine job wherever he's been of having a base plan, but being able to fit that to whatever you have. And we've got some good pieces here. You know, we've got a guy that in quarterback who is experienced, you know, getting a feel for what he likes and what he doesn't like after we go through these first couple weeks, and then sit down and talk to him about, okay, where are you with a guy who's more mature, who will just tell you, hey, look, I don't like that, I really like this, you know, try to play to his strengths, and then you know, to the strengths of our offense. So, you know, what we can do and what we can't do well, and instead of trying to force something. So that's what he does. So, you know, we've got some pieces here that are pretty good, and you know, the key is going to be, you know, how we utilize those pieces, and I think I know he's proven he's been able to do that wherever he's been.
Down front, Kirk, this will be last one. We got Coach Chavis ready.
Yeah, Kevin, you feeling any pressure this year after a couple 8-5 seasons, and as far as the talent you have, are people kind of sleeping on this A&M team?
To answer your first question, no. And I don't know if people are sleeping on us or not. Kirk, you can answer that.
All right, Coach, thank you. We got Coach
Thanks.
Chavis ready.